bank and say you want a time period of 5 years. So the modern banks take into account that 3 lakh loan has been taken from the modern bank. You will be repaying it in 3 years' time. And the interest rate for 3 years is calculated, whatever the amount will be. It may be 40,000 or 50,000 rupees. So it calculates the initial loan it has given you plus the interest. Say the interest is about 50,000. So the 3 lakh loan and 50,000 interest is paid in a period of 3 years. 3,50,000 is paid in installments. This 3,50,000 is divided by the number of months. That is 36 months. So every month you pay an installment of say somewhere around close to 10,000 rupees, 9,500, whatever it is. You pay. So the system of the modern bank is based on interest. The amount it has given you loan and the time period you take, the loan plus interest is the installments you pay. But natural, since it involves riba, it involves interest, it is haram in Islam. The system of the Islamic banking is different. There are various different types of systems. The loan that you take from the Islamic bank, there are various ways in which you can take loans. Different banks have got different schemes. Some banks have the scheme that suppose you pay part. Again you have to pay 25% or 40% or 50% of the initial amount of that flat. Out of 4 lakh you pay 1 lakh. The remaining 3 lakh is given to you by the Islamic bank. Now the Islamic bank calculates that what is the average monthly rent of that house. Say it may be about 15,000 per month. Since you have paid 25% of the initial amount of that house and 75% is paid by the Islamic bank, the rent is divided. 25% of the rent you don't pay, the remaining 75% you pay. Whatever the amount comes to every month. Since 75% of the house has been financed by the Islamic bank, 25% by you. So here you calculate the rent. And at the end of 3 years, they see to it that suppose they want a particular profit. So the Islamic bank says, I want a profit of about 40,000 rupees. I want a profit of 30,000 rupees at the end of 3 months. So 3 lakhs they have given to you. Plus the 30,000 is added as profit. The 3.3 lakh is divided in the 36 months as installments. But here, it is not calculated on interest, it is calculated on profit. And every month you are paying rent. Every month you are paying rent of that house. That's one of the ways of taking loans. For example, if you go in the Al-Amin Bank, they have an Ashiana scheme, housing scheme, where you must, suppose you say that after 4 years I'm going to get married, after 3 years I'm going to get married. They encourage you to start saving from now. So every month you can deposit either 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees of that amount in the Al-Amin Bank. It goes in the Ashiana scheme. And whatever you deposit, it is invested in the Mudaraba system and you get profit on that. So at the end of 3 years, every year you keep on depositing 3,000 rupees, whatever it is. At the end of 3 years, it becomes 3 multiplied by 36. It becomes more than 1 lakh rupees, 1,08,000, and plus the profit. With the profit it comes to 1,25,000 or 1,50,000. So now the remaining 1.5 lakh is given to you by the Al-Amin Bank on the same basis, which is based on the rent. It's based on profit, it's not based on interest. So anything we deal with interest is haram. Anything we deal with profit and loss is allowed. Hope that answers the question.
Any question from the ladies' side?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. What are we supposed to do with the interest money we have? Some says you can utilize the interest money for constructing toilet and bathroom.
The sister posed the question that what are we supposed to do with the interest money we have? Some say that you can utilize that money for constructing bathrooms and toilets. Firstly, as a Muslim, you should not involve yourself in interest at all. So if you don't involve yourself in interest, the question of you having interest money does not arise. You are not supposed to keep a single pie in any institute, in any bank which deals with interest. So if you don't keep your money in interest-based institute, you will not have interest money, so the question will not arise, where are you supposed to invest that money? Suppose today you have decided that today you have realized that interest is haram, it is prohibited, and you say, okay, I will refrain from it. If a person has to repent, there are three criteria required. First, he should realize the thing he is doing is haram, it is prohibited. Second, he should stop it immediately. Third, he should not involve in it in future. So today if you realize that interest is haram, and if you have some money remaining with you, then I would say that spend it in the way of Allah. But if you say, I will keep my money in the modern bank in the fixed deposit, on the savings account, and whatever money I get regularly, whatever money I get every year, I will give it in the way of constructing toilets, constructing bathrooms. Some say you can spend it on footwear. From where they get this, I don't know. Interest is haram, and the money of that interest is also haram. I would like to ask a question. That suppose there's a person who's dealing in drugs, who's dealing in cocaine and brown sugar. Since intoxicant has been prohibited in the Quran, he says that I have invested 1 lakh rupees in this business of cocaine, of drug, so I've invested 10 lakh rupees. After investing 10 lakh rupees, every month I get a profit of 1 lakh rupees. And that 1 lakh profit, since dealing in drugs is haram, I don't take a single pie of the profit. I spend that 1 lakh rupees for the poor people. Do you think it's allowed in Islam? But naturally it's not allowed. That since the consumption of intoxicants is haram, dealing in intoxicants is also haram. You can't say that as a compensation, whatever profit I've got, I spend it for good deed. It's not allowed. In the same fashion, you cannot say I will keep my money in a modern bank, in the saving account or fixed deposit, and whatever money I have, I will spend it on making chappals and building toilets. Same smuggler will say that after I make a profit of 1 lakh rupees, I will make 1 toilet in every locality. Do you think it's allowed? He may, in his business of dealing with drugs, he may have ruined hundreds and thousands of lives, which may be costing more than crores of rupees. This 1 lakh is negligible. So you can't compensate by saying, whatever money I have, I will spend it for building bathrooms or chapels. Interest is haram. You are not supposed to keep your money in any institute which involves with interest. So if you don't have the money, the question of spending it does not arise. But today if you have decided that interest is haram, and whatever backlog you have, inshallah you can spend in the way of Allah, and Allah will accept it. I hope that answers the question.
Next.
Zakir Naik, you have very well proved that taking interest is prohibited in the Quran and Hadith. I do agree with it. But is giving interest also haram?
Brother said that he agrees that since the Quran mentions taking of interest is haram, he says that is giving of interest also haram? It is that you asked me the question that since the Quran clearly mentions that intoxicants and gambling is mentioned in Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 90. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru wal maisuru